Alrighty, good morning. Good morning, good morning. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, May the 29th, I believe. It is. It's May the 29th, and it's 7:32 a.m. So it's not late, but it's not early either. It's kind of an in-between time. 7, 8 o'clock in the morning in there is kind of an in-between time. It's not really early, but it's not late either. It's just kind of an in-between time. So that's where we're at here at Camp Crazy. We're in the in-between time in the morning between it being early morning and late morning, but not afternoon. Not yet, anyway. Yeah. Anyway, I've told this story a little bit, or I've touched on it in some other videos, and I'm going to touch on it again now. I'm going to actually elaborate a little bit about a situation that's occurred in my life. The bulk of it happened a couple of years ago, but there's been a recent development that's troubled me a bit, and brought back some things, and it stirred up a lot of emotions in me, and it's brought out some old resentments that I have, especially towards women. I do harbor resentments towards women because I feel I haven't been treated fairly by women. I feel I've been unjustly labeled by women and so on, and I feel that I haven't been judged fairly by women, basically. I feel like I haven't been judged fairly by society, really, but especially by the female portion of it. And so it's jaded me as far as how I see women, you know. And anyway, I'll tell you the story here. I won't tell you the whole story because I don't want to get into identifying people and all that, and I'm going to try not to out this person any more than I have to tell the story. But basically, a couple of years ago, I had this situation with this woman. I ended up disassociating from her. She accused me of being abusive. When I disassociated from her, she accused me of being abusive and also of being narcissistic. Narcissist is a word this woman throws around a lot, though. If she's in a dispute with anybody, they're automatically a narcissist. She punctuates her sentences with the word narcissist. Really, she does. So the label doesn't really mean a lot coming from this person. If you have any negative interaction with her at all, then you are a narcissist in her estimation. So, anyway, bottom line is, the final straw for me came because she had repeatedly not kept her word. But she told me she was in dire straits. Services to her house were going to be cut off. Now, look, I don't even have a house. I'm living in a camper in a field. I don't have services. My water service here is me lugging water from someplace else and pouring it into a big reservoir that I keep on the counter beside the sink. That's my water service. If I want hot water, my water service is I fill a kettle with water and I take it and I boil the water on my Coleman stove, on my propane stove outside. Anyway, until recently, I didn't even have 120 volt AC. A friend of mine bought me a battery box thing here that will put out 120 volts. So I do have that now, but until recently I didn't have that. And even with that, I've still got to take that somewhere and recharge it periodically. All it does is store electricity from somewhere else. So it's really not any different than my water reservoir, which stores water that I bring in from elsewhere. It's the same idea, but it's for electricity. Now, it's a great thing, and I'm glad to have it, and I'm grateful for it, and it has improved my quality of life quite a bit. But I only have it for like a month or whatever, or 2 months or whatever it is. I haven't had it for a long time. Most of the time I've been back here, I have not had electricity, really. Anyway, here's the thing. That's what she told me the money was for. I lent her the money. I lent her $400, which I had here from my work. I was saving to buy a truck to help get me out of this situation. And so, yeah, at that time, I had around $2,000, I think it was, in savings. And it was just sitting here. It wasn't enough to buy a truck with in this crazy era we're living in now, but I was on my way, and the money was here, and it was just sitting here, and I thought, well, if she needs the money, and it would be kind of a sin, really, to say no to her. And also, I figured it's a kind of a test in a way, because she'd shown herself not to be very reliable for keeping her word in different things. But I thought, well, we'll see if she keeps her word in this thing. And this will be the big test anyway, to see if she'll at least do that. Of course she didn't. I did get $100 of the 400 I lent her, of the 400 that I lent her back eventually. But yeah, it wasn't an easy thing anyway. She repeatedly just didn't keep her word, and I disassociated from her. Well, when I disassociated from her, she started sending me messages begging me to reconsider and telling me how much she respected me and how much she valued me and all that, which didn't really mean much to me because her actions had said otherwise. The day I lent her the money, which was supposed to be to keep the services to her house on, she posted in Facebook she took her dogs to the dog groomers. They had all new outfits on them and stuff. They looked really cute. She had a couple of dogs. Um, and she called one of her little dogs Cracker, and the other one she called Soda Pop. And Cracker and Soda Pop, they look pretty sharp. They did. They'd been to the dog groomers, and she posted a thing thanking the dog groomer for doing such a great job. Now, here's the thing, though. She is a dog groomer herself. She could have done that at home for free. Now, she was no longer in the business, but she did have a room in her house for dog grooming. And she was equipped to groom dogs, and she has the ability, she has the talent, she has the know-how, and so on, to groom dogs. And apparently, from what I'd read about with reviews of her and whatnot, she's very talented at it. Like, she's actually a good dog groomer. The problem with her, though, again, was that she wasn't keeping her word. She wasn't keeping appointments. She was unreliable. And so her business didn't go anywhere. But it didn't go anywhere because she was unreliable and didn't keep her word. It wasn't because she was no good at it. If she actually did keep an appointment, and occasionally she did, and she actually did the work, anybody who had her groom their dog said that she did an excellent job, and that she was quite talented, really, at it. That she had a real ability for that kind of work. But again, it was just a matter of her not keeping her word, not keeping appointments, and so on. That was the issue, not a lack of ability or a lack of talent, to be clear. So she could have groomed her own damn dogs at home. She didn't have to take my money and use it to groom her dogs. And I wasn't happy with that. When I saw the pictures, I wasn't happy at first. I had kind of a reaction. But then I thought, it's her money. As long as she pays it back, it's her money. She can do whatever the hell she pleases with it. As long as I get it back, it's her money. She can do as she pleases. And so I I cooled my jets, basically. I said, well, whatever. She wasn't exactly honest with me, but if she pays the money back, well, no harm done. And I left it at that. Of course, again, she repeatedly didn't keep her word and so on. So I disassociated from her. Then she started sending me messages, begging me to reconsider and going on about how much she respected me and valued me and all the rest of it. And then when I finally responded after several of these messages and said, look, talk is cheap, your actions say otherwise, and I just don't want you in my life anymore. I don't think that you're a good person for me, at least, to be dealing with. Then she started sending me messages saying, well, you need to learn that life happens. You need to learn to cope when things don't go according to plan. Well, I mean, what she had been doing is, it wasn't a situation where life happened. It wasn't situations where she was unable to keep her word due to circumstances beyond her control, which would be life happening. It was situations where she just decided, oh, I know I gave my word I'd do this, but I want to do this other thing instead, so I'm going to do that. you know. And I gave my word I'd be out there to see him, but I want to do this other thing instead, so I'm going to do that instead. And I'm not even going to send him a message to let him know that I've changed my mind and I'm going to do this other thing. I'm just going to leave him hanging and wondering where I am and waiting for me. That's what I'm going to do. So that's not life happening. That was her happening. And that's what I told her, basically. I said, that's, your idea of life happening is different than mine. Because to me, look, if you say you're going to be out here and then on the way here you get hit head on the highway. Somebody crosses the line and they hit you, they smash your car up, maybe they injure you or whatever, wreck your car and so on. That's life happening. I'm not going to hold that against you. In fact, when I find out that happened, I'm going to be like, are you okay? Can I help you? Do you need anything? I'm not going to be, well, you didn't keep your word. I'm not going to be like that under those circumstances. But when I finally do get in touch with you after you've broken your word and you say, well, I decided I was going to stay home and sleep instead. Okay, could you not have sent me a message or called me or something and said, yeah, Tom, I said I was going to be out there, but I really feel like I need to sleep instead, so I'm not gonna be there. I hope you understand. Um, we'll do it another day or whatever. I would have been good with that, but I really did feel disrespected and taken for granted and so on, and that was why I disassociated myself. Anyway, it ended up um, 2 years go by. She still owes me $300, although I've written that off. I don't expect to ever see that money. But she sent me a message last week, and it was along the lines of, "Hi Tom, it's," and told me her name, which I knew who it was anyway. But she did that, and then she says, it's been a long time. Well, it's been 2 years, so okay. She says, um, and then she goes into an excuse and a self-justification thing, which is what she does. So I'm seeing the old pattern there. I'm seeing this old pattern of behavior on her part. It hasn't changed. Because she says, I had some health issues, and then I suffered from mental illness due to those health issues, and so I never repaid you the $300 I still owe you. Okay, well, that's not true. Um, that's not what happened. She did have some mental health issues, and she did have some health issues too. Those things are true. But that's not the reason that she didn't repay me. And in fact, this is a pattern of behavior for her. She owes people money all over town. She does this. She borrows money and then doesn't pay it back. So this is not an isolated thing. She's been doing this for decades all over town. She owes a lot of people a lot of money. I guess I should consider myself special because she actually has offered to pay the money back. But I knew that that was a hook. There's something else going on. Now, she's fallen on hard times. She's lost her home. I don't know where she's living now. I have no idea. But she's lost her home. She's lost her rental house that she had. Um, I believe her job is trying to get rid of her. At least it was at one point. They were trying to fire her. But because it's a union job and the union is pretty strong, they can't just put you out. It's not like other jobs. And so that's an ongoing thing as far as I know. I don't know if she's still working or not, or if she's in arbitration through the union now or what, but either she will continue working at that job or she'll be fired, but she'll get a huge settlement if she's fired, because that's how it works with that type of a job that she has. Anyway, there's that. She's also got legal problems. She's been arrested recently for breaching a court order and stuff like that. So, really, her life is not going very well at the moment. And, on the one hand, I can feel bad for her, but on the other hand, I can see everything that led up to everything that's happening. And I'm saying, well, you need to stop doing this shit that you do. This is happening because you keep doing this stuff. But anyway, still, I don't wish that upon her or anything. I'm not sitting here rubbing my hands together all gleeful, oh, she's got these problems. Good, this is great. Yeah, I love this. I'm not doing that. I do feel badly for her. But the bottom line is that I'm not gloating over her downfall or whatever, or wishing bad things upon her. But she opened with an excuse and a self-justification which told me that her mentality has not changed. And really, her excuse isn't actually, it's not a legitimate thing. It's a lie. And then she's saying, when can I come out to repay this money? And then she says, hope you are well. Well, here's the thing. She doesn't respect me enough to hope that I'm well or anything else. I know that. Because she showed that in her interactions with me before. Gaslighting me, lying to me, not keeping her word, and so on. So unless she's had a major change of heart, she doesn't respect me enough to care whether or not I'm well. That's the first thing. And obviously she hasn't had a major change of heart when she opens with an excuse and a justification for her actions, as opposed to, an apology. There was nothing humble in that message at all. There was no humbleness there. It was still her basically saying, yeah, I'm a victim here and my actions are due to the fact that I'm a victim. That's what it was. And so, again, I saw no change of heart there, and I thought, okay, her heart is still where it was before. So there's that. And as far as the money goes, she can put it in the mailbox. She knows that, because that was the arrangement we had. When I disassociated myself from her, I didn't want to see her. And I told her if she wanted to repay the money, she could put it in the mailbox, which is what happened with the $100 payment I got. The mailbox is still at the end of the driveway. It hasn't moved. Even when I do move, the people here are honest. If an envelope appears in the mailbox with my name on it, they will see that I get it. They know where I'm going, and they can still contact me. My friend who's allowed me to camp here, he can still text me or message me or call me or whatever. And he would do that. He's not a dishonest man. If an envelope appears in the mailbox with my name on it, these are Christian people here, and this is a Christian family. I mean, I have a little trouble with the one brother who's not really a Christian, but the rest of them are very much Christians. And even the one brother who's not a Christian, it isn't really a serious matter. He just doesn't want me here. That's what it boils down to. He's never wanted me here. He's never approved of the situation of my being here. But anyway, partially because it's illegal. You can't legally live the way I'm living, and they can't legally allow me to live this way here. That's the thing. Now, I think that's wrong. It shouldn't be that way, but it is that way. Anyway, the bottom line is she doesn't need to meet me for the money. She can leave the money in the mailbox at 2:30 on a Sunday morning. She doesn't need to meet me to do that. So the money's open. The mailbox is open 24/7. So what that told me is she wants to meet me face to face. And the fact that I did not see a change of heart, that the way she wrote the thing even told me that she has not changed, that her heart is still where it was before. What that told me is that a face-to-face meeting will be probably in some way a manipulation. She's looking to manipulate me. And I'm not looking to be manipulated. I was manipulated for a little while before by her, but I'm not looking to do that again. So I don't know what sort of a scam she wants to run, but I figured the $300 is just a hook. It's an excuse to come out here and meet with me. Anyway, the people who own this property have already told me she's not allowed on this property, so I couldn't meet her here anyway. I mean, she can put money in the mailbox at the road, but she can't come onto the property. They don't want her here. I've been told that I'm not to ever have her on this property again. So, and this is their place. They don't have to allow anybody on the property they don't want here. And they can do that for whatever reason. They don't need to justify themselves in that. So she can't come here to pay me my money back anyway because she's not welcome here. And that isn't me. That's the people who own the property. Although I think I'm in agreement with them about it. But even if I wasn't, it wouldn't matter. She cannot come onto this property. She's not welcome here. The people who own the property have said so. So, I couldn't meet her here anyway. I'd have to meet her somewhere else. I have no desire to meet her face to face while her heart is still where it was. And by the message, I can tell it is because of the self-justification and all the rest of it. I can tell that. She's still not owning up to or taking responsibility for her actions and for her role in the situation. And so what that tells me is that a face-to-face meeting with her will go nowhere good. And so there's no point to having one. So if a condition of getting my money back is that I have to meet her face-to-face so that she can attempt to run a con on me or so that she can attempt to manipulate me, I'm not open to that. So like I say, she's welcome to leave the money in the mailbox. If she's sincere about paying me back, she's welcome to do that. If she doesn't, she doesn't. It just is what it is. I'm not going to obsess over it. I'm not going to worry about it. Like I say, I've written it off. I've just accepted that money's gone and it ain't coming back. So, if it does come back, that'd be nice. The only reason for her to pay the money back, really, at this point, would be for the sake of her own conscience. If she's paying it back for any other reason, then she's just wasting her time, and there's no point to her paying it back for any other reason than for the benefit of her conscience. And, I mean, I hope that the time will come when she'll have a change of heart, where her heart will change in such a way that she will do things like pay back money she owes for the benefit of her conscience. I do hope that happens. Not because it's going to benefit me personally, because it won't, but because it will benefit her. And it'll benefit anyone she deals with in the future, so that they don't have to go through what I went through and what so many other people she's had dealings with have had to go through. Um, you know, but anyway, it stirred up a lot of emotions in me. It's hearing from her again. It did a bit of a number on me, for sure. She did a bit of a number on me a couple of years ago, and I'm still struggling with a lot of things, including that. So, anyway, I don't need to revisit a situation like that, and it looks like it would be the same situation. I'd be going right back to what I walked away from, so I'm not going to do that. Um, like I say, if she wants to pay, if she wants to repay the money, not for my benefit, but for the benefit of her own conscience, she can leave the money in the mailbox. But there's no reason for her to ever approach me